This is Halloween, and if you love haunted history and walking through the cemetery as much as I do, you may want to subscribe because I'm going to be taking you somewhere new every week. I wanted to wear my wig today for a pop of color because my closet, unfortunately, doesn't offer very much color. It's mostly black. Being that February is going to be a circus theme, I wanted it to be kind of exciting and colorful and cool. I'm really excited about today. We're going to be visiting the Showman's Rest Cemetery, where carnival performers, even circus performers, are buried right here in Tampa. Well, I'm in St. Pete. I'm just across the puddle, but you know what I mean. We're also going to be going to the fair. Can't wait to eat my way through the fair. Enjoy! We've arrived at the Showman's Rest Cemetery. This is a cemetery designated for circus performers and carnies only here in Tampa. It was established in 1951. We're already in and there's not much to see. This is it. I mean, it's all flat headstones and there's one niche over here. But I'm looking for a couple of specific people. Another thing I wanted to mention about this particular cemetery is that it is connected to some of my favorite cemeteries. So I will link at the end of this video, my Woodlawn Cemetery video. It is actually connected to Woodlawn Cemetery, Beth Israel Cemetery, and Centro Esteriano Cemetery. So if you're in the Tampa area and you want to visit a really cool historic cemetery, come here because you will not be disappointed. Let's see what we can see. So here we are amongst all of the carnies and circus performers. Just that in itself, I think, is really kind of like a pretty cool thing. It's something I never really knew about before, that they had designated cemeteries for these folks. But it's a really kind of a neat thing to know. And there's actually 3 other Showman's Rest cemeteries in the United States. Now, I just saw somebody I wanted to visit. I'll tell you a little bit about them. There's a beautiful niche here. Now, something really cool about my Woodlawn Cemetery video, which is the adjoining cemetery, twice in that video you can actually hear voices. Now, I didn't hear them while I was at the cemetery, but when I went home and edited the footage, there was clearly voices in that video. So if you want to hear that, or if you want to come visit the cemetery, I do believe there might be some souls wandering around there. You look just above me. Very important circus performers here. Duina Zacchini Norman and Edmundo Zacchini are there. Duina was a circus performer, and at age 12 she joined Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus. She was a member of her father Edmundo's famous trapeze act, the Flying Zacchinis. Not zucchinis, Flying Zacchinis. During the 1920s and 30s, she performed in America, Africa, and Europe. When her brothers deployed to fight in World War II, her father trained her and her sister, Eagle, it's E-G-L-E, to become human projectiles in the Cannonball show. The Cannonball act was a great success for over 20 years and earned her a spot on the Ed Sullivan show. She even graced the cover of Life magazine. Because she was such a talented athlete and acrobat, NASA invited her to try out to become the first female astronaut. She was considered queen of the circus and still today is known as the greatest female trapeze artist of all time. So, pretty important person there. There's Edmundo. So this is actually the father of Duina. Yeah, Eddie was one of the sons. This is the father. So this was the human Cannonball, the first to use compressed air. He's the next building over from Duina. So just to give you an idea of the burials here, the headstones are all just flat headstones, traditional burials. And I have heard that there are some circus animal performers buried here as well. I haven't seen any, but I'm sure there are some. Cool. And if you look, just look around here, that's it. That's the whole cemetery. There's a groundskeeper here that lives, well, he said he was the groundskeeper. I'm not 100% sure, but he came out of hiding back there and said, oh yeah, feel free to look around. So if you come here, you may see a very interesting character coming from that building there. Seems like a nice guy. There's Timothy Chitwood. Mr. Chitwood was actually a stunt auto driver, so there's a Joie Chitwood as well, who's here. We'll try to find him. There he is, Joie Chitwood, owner of the Joie Chitwood Thrill Show. This is basically it for the cemetery. There are some burials out in the open part out there. You will find that all the more famous people are here in the niche. You could really, as big as this cemetery is with the adjoining cemeteries, you could spend a whole day here and find some really great people too. Hi!
How you doing?
I'm great, how are you? Oh, okay. Great, thank you. This cemetery was short and sweet, cool in its own way. It's just kind of like a neat thing. I have always loved circus stuff, sideshow stuff, clowns, you know, all of that. And it's cool to know that they have their own little place for rest. Learn something new all the time about these cemeteries, and it's just a really cool thing. And I'm so glad that I'm able to bring this information to you. Now it's time for the fair. We've arrived at the Florida State Fair. Gonna get lots to eat. We're actually looking for this truck that we love to eat at when we come here. They have rabbit and snake sausage, and it's so good. If you want to cool off and see some really cool stuff, visit the expo hall. Visit some of their booths. They're pretty awesome. Thank you so much for joining me again today. I hope you loved today's episode. We had a great time. Who doesn't love the fair? So that does it for today's episode. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share on your way out, and I'll see you next time.